Okay, so I don't know if I'm in probably the okay, that sucks. I don't know if I'm probably in the best condition to record this video. Everything seems to be alright. So it was my video. I'm a little like I'm not really center. So hopefully try to move to the right. See if that helps with this video. Move a little bit more to the right and see if that evens it out. So I'm like more centered because that kind of bugged me looking at my videos. I try to speak a little louder too. I've been like thinking. I've been like really thinking, searching. And this one might be a little shorter than the other videos. I'm just trying to wrap that up. So yeah, it shouldn't be that long. It should be like one of the shorter ones. I've been thinking, how would advice I'd give anybody? Because I think psychology is very important. It's super important, at least to so many other things like sociology, pathology, biology. Like it all leads down to well, human biology per se, and how we think, how our body works, the chemicals, all that good stuff. And then pathology, like the diseases like we go through, and mental disease, all that. Like it all comes together. Sociology, study of how people perform and like different things. It all comes together. I feel like it's very important, and to know like how you work in your own psychology and how your parents were and how you can try to figure out different things while you work and like learn the best possible way, live the best possible way. But you have to know, you have to learn yourself. You have to seek out the truth and try to stop the bad patterns. There's bad patterns in your life going on right now and you want to fix them. The main way to do that is to figure out you and how your parents were, how you were raised, and figure out the good and the bad, and then make it the best. That's what I believe, and I feel like it's so important. Especially, I recommend it for women because women are way better at reading body language, picking up signals, and all that different type of things than men. They're a little bit better at that, and they're more, they're not really they're less visual than men are. They're more mentally up here. So, and psychology is actually a woman-dominated industry, and women are more interested in people and things. Men are more interested in things and building stuff, and that varies. It's outliers. Like I myself is an outlier. Like women are more interested in people. That's more of a woman thing, psychology. But I'm a male and I'm big into it. So it's obviously outliers, and everyone's different. So yeah, throw that out there before before people try to call me sexist or make some claims. Yeah, that's actually the first time I did that. This is really aggressive, you could tell. But no, I'm serious. I believe people, like, even if you're not big into it, you should at least study a little bit of psychology. You should know a little bit, especially for women. I recommend that you'll probably like it. You need to know about yourself. You need to learn about the people around you and why you act the way you act, and people around you act the way they act, and the negative impact they have on you, and maybe the vice versa you have on them. It's all these different things. And I made a video about traits, being open, being creative, being agreeable, disagreeable. I did the test, the personality test, find yourself test. I did my own analysis on myself, so I know how I work and kind of relate. I kind of know why my mom was kind of like that, my dad was kind of like that. I'm kind of figuring out, and it makes sense to go back in the patterns of my life, and I kind of try to figure out. I'm in a very weird, kind of frantic state. But yes, it's important. And I made a video on traits, but I didn't want to upload because it seemed really narcissistic. I might make a less narcissistic one where it's less about me. People aren't really, they might be interested in me. They're more interested in maybe the knowledge. That's what I would say. So not that I have much, but I have a little. I just say what I think. And I feel as though I kind of make a video describing all the traits instead of being more of me. I kind of describe the traits and tell you, and I can kind of recommend you do the test to figure out yourself. I'm very in this weird introspective, find myself place. I want to know everything about myself. I want to know everything about my dad's side, my mom's side. I want to know these things. I need to know everything. It might be a little too much. It might be overthinking, but yeah, I want to know everything. I need to know everything, and I love learning about people, how people work. And when you learn psychology, it's wow, that makes sense. I act like that. It's this little thing. It was unconsciously known, but when you learn about it, it becomes conscious. You unconsciously already knew that and you accepted it, but now that you know it's a conscious notion. It's yeah, everybody really knows for example per se how women work. They their data of hierarchies and across. It's like, well, everybody already knew that. Like, it was already like a main assumption that, yeah, she goes with Tyrone. But it's like, when you learn psychology, you actually know why she wants Tyrone. And it makes sense. It's like, it's all these little things in life that, well, you already know how that works, and you just accepting it and understand it. When you know psychology, you're like, wow, like that's, and you know, like the main reasons, like the evolutionary reasons why. And it's like, yeah, it like psychology is the thing. It blends, like, speaking of like evolution, it blends science and evolution together. It's like these two things, it blends it together, and it makes perfect sense. A lot of these psychologists, they go over like religious, not a lot of them. I feel like Jordan B is like the main one who does that. He goes over psychology and religion, how it works together, and science and biology, and it goes together and it makes sense. It's like, you think about it, like, whether you're religious, you're atheist, whatever religion you believe in, it's like, whatever religion you follow, that was written down like times before science, and that's kind of incredible to think about. So, and I believe religion is valid, and whether you're atheist or you think that religion is based on science or that, it's like, it's not. It's based on how people perceive the world and how the world is. And if you read religion as science, you're not really, yeah, of course people are going to be atheists if that's what they think of it, but that's not really how it's supposed to be. I think religion is a very good thing, and it definitely has its issues, its downside, but for the most part, it's been a positive impact. But there's a lot of negative we can go into. I'm not going to, I could be sitting here all day talking about the negative parts, you know, and all that. But it's like, yeah, so I just want to make a little touch. And I feel like psychology is very important. And I said it, this will be the second, third time saying I recommend it for women. It'll definitely, like, even like the woman who's like the most industrious, who doesn't care, even she'll study psychology. No study, but like, look into it a little bit, learn a little bit. And some of the basic stuff you might already know, you might unconsciously know. But it's like, if you actually know, you can like learn the bad things you do, and you can stop doing them. And you can learn the good things, and you can learn how to do them. Like, you can learn how to be confident. I watched this video, and it's like, all celebrities and actors, like, oh, they were born that way, they were born for greatness. No, no one is born, well, almost no one. Let's take some promised child. No one is born confident. No one is born knowing how to be successful. They might have a higher IQ and higher personality trait for conscientiousness, so they might, be a little bit more successful, and they might have good parents, and they might find what they're good at earlier. So who knows? And a lot of people are different. Like, a lot of people say like they know themselves at an earlier age, and yeah. But I feel like a lot of us aren't like that. All of us aren't celebrities, obviously, and we're all not creative innovators, and that's how the kind of system is. It's like, capitalism. We all can't be rich, but people that work hard enough and they work their due diligence and do what they have to do, they can be. But all of us can be. And situations, environments like that exist, and it's a sad thing to say, but in this society, everyone can't be at the top, but a certain few people can. And I feel like if you have the opportunity, you should at least work towards that. Even if you don't make it to the top, as long as you can be at a place where you're satisfied with. I've been talking really fast, and I don't know if that's good for a video or bad. So I know when you're talking fast, you're more engaged in what you're saying, but at the same time, if you're talking too fast, you might not catch my drift, and I might be confusing. So maybe I should slow down a little bit. A little weird at that. But yeah, I solemnly think that psychology is very important. It leads into everything else. And everything else leads into it. It's like how people work, how their bodies work, how psychology, a little bit of that, learn a little bit of biology, sociology, pathology, it all comes together. And I think that's a very beautiful thing, and it makes a lot of sense, and I just want to know everything. And there's so many things that happened in the past that, like, psychology doesn't really explain, because some things are so correct you can't explain. You can use your general knowledge, and we learn, okay, let's not do that, and we learn for the future, and it's better. I feel like psychology is so important because of that, because we know humans have a tendency for evil, so we can learn that tendency and learn to control it and make it positive. Like, we could just go up, and that's cool, that's amazing. I feel like if we all did that, it'd be great. But you should know yourself. Know yourself. If you know yourself, you know your bad tendency, you know your good tendency, you can work to what you're good at, you can be better, more productive. You can also get rid of the bad tendency and the attractiveness and the attraction you have towards negative people in your life, which caused you to waste your energy, and that could be better. And it's just overall a very good thing. And you could figure out, why you're good at this and why you enjoy this, and you could even increase that. And I feel like the people that mostly Well, it's not for everybody. There are some outliers that are very weird, peculiar. But most people that are successful, they usually became successful either at a young age, where they were just prodigies and they had the good, they're just prodigies and people around them, they already kind of raised them in a way to where they knew what they wanted to do and they were just good at it and they just kept going with it. Like prodigies, like a lot of actors, a lot of singers, they start very young and they knew what they were good at and their parents kind of knew and they kind of just raised into that. Or you get successful at an older age to where you kind of go through that weird thing where you're trying to figure out who you are, or you know what you are and the thing you're doing takes a while to get there. And it's like all these, or some people never find out and they're just doing, and they're just willfully blind. They're just unhappy their whole lives, and they just sit there. And I'm not gonna judge those people or assassinate their character or assault them. However you live your life, so I'm not God. I'm not here to tell you how to live. But what I am here to say is that I feel like if everyone at least tried. I feel like a lot of people, I go to the gym, a lot of people say, hey, I'm just trying, man, I'm working. I say, no, they're doing. And, they can say they're trying, but I feel like if people tried, and even a little bit of people, they tried and they actually did, it would do this. Like, not everyone has to be, super introspective, know themselves, but if a small amount, even if you had a whole population, it's like 1% got a little better, a little more in perspective, and knew what they wanted and the bad things in life, how they could fix that. And honestly, a lot of them might know and they might not know how to fix it. But even smaller people that know what they do, they know how to fix it, the world would just go like this. If people just learned themselves a little better, and then a few group of the people that didn't disregard that information and didn't go back to willful blindness, if they try to implement it and make their lives a little bit positive in the life of their family, life of their community, it's a little bit like this, the world would be this. Things would go in a way better direction. We have more innovation. We would have more people with their own opinions. There wouldn't be this. I'm not really. I don't know much about politics. I'm not even political, but everyone who knows, like, politics is like a hot mess right now. Everyone's just super polarized to one side, and you say one thing, you're automatically this. And yeah, I'm not gonna go there. I don't think I'm ever gonna talk about politics, because even though that does go in with psychology and being polarized, and some people, the bug distracted me. Some people, they have a personality trait and they lean towards more left or lean towards more right, and that's not even them. That's just how they are. And the left and right are both important, and I'm not here to even go over why that. I'm not politics at all. But yes, and some people might even take that out of context. That's why I don't even want to go into it. But I feel like learning about yourself and how people work, just even a little bit of that, would just make everyone's life better, because we're social creatures. We depend on people. The people we meet, the people we're raised by, our friends, they really direct our whole life. And the fact that there's a study that studies exactly that, it's like we're formed by people. Like, if someone's antisocial, like they're not socialized, and they're not even a real person, because they don't have anything, don't have any experience, don't have any culture. All of that is like psychology and sociology. It's like all that is a beautiful thing. And the fact there's a study on that, you could like improve your life by like this. And that's why all these like speakers, like I don't really know that many speakers. Or like Brett Einstein, Sam Harris, Jordan B. Trace, like all these dudes, they're like, they're kind of speaking on different topics and their own opinions on it. It's like people are really, like, the certain people that are looking into that and taking information, their lives are like heading in such a different position, and mostly positive. And some did decide to just, be blind, just disagree them and just stay where they're at and just attack. But I feel like who was it, Kevin Samuels? He passed away. I wasn't really a big fan. I agree with some of the stuff. Some of the stuff he said was true. Well, in terms of truth. See, I'm not gonna go too deep into things. I'm starting to overthink. But some of the things he did say I agree with, and he was true. And I feel like he was overall a pretty good dude. He passed away, and the one thing he said in one of his videos, and he was like, the video was like, Man 101, how to be a man. It's like the nerve of you niggas. He was saying, like, he was telling you, he actually gave me my face and my routine for, like, my skincare routine, he's like, okay, this is what you have to do. You have to do this. You have to wear this. Like, this is what men do. It's like the nerve of you niggas. You niggas want something where you're not putting in the work to do or doing the things you want. You want like, you know, the high value women, but you don't do this. You don't take care. So like, yo, he's right. I want this, but I'm not taking care of myself the proper way. I learned. And he said this. The main thing is I want to get all that. He said this. No matter what you think of me or your opinions of me, just disregard them for now. Just take the information I'm telling you at face value and see if you could take something from it. And a lot of people, they just be willfully blind, don't agree with things. If everyone did that, whether you hate me, you love me, or you hate anyone, you love them. If they're saying information, if you could just take, and it's difficult, but if there's a lot of reasons why we don't do that, and like we humans tend, I'm getting lost, but as humans, we take first impressions very seriously, and we prejudge people when we look at them, and our first impressions is how we think of them throughout the whole thing. So everyone says first impressions are so this, that's how people are. You know, we judge things very fast, and that's like the evolutionary thing to protect us from other people, other tribes. We judge things really fast to cause us to protect ourselves, and that's a big thing ingrained to us. Just like first impressions are overrated. Like, it's not about how you see someone the first, because they could be putting on a mask and trying to, you know, seduce you or trick you or manipulate you. You have to see them do different type of events and truly judge your character. First impressions are overrated, and you shouldn't judge someone based on such like a tiny interaction. You should see their character for what there is in different situations. But did I get lost? No, as I was saying, people, like he said that because people tend to judge, you know, they don't care what you say, they're judging you. And whoever told, like, if someone says a celebrity is so-and-so, like, oh, so Jordan Peterson is racist, he's all white. It's like, yeah, people are going to think that, and they're just going to take, like, everything he says, like, without actually getting to know and seeing his character, and really, if he is that, people don't even go that far. They're just like, oh, okay, they take everything at face value. And they're just like, oh, they don't really dig in deep. They're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna just prejudge. Not face value, they prejudge everything. And if you don't preach someone and they're saying information, what they believe, or what is fact, and that's why fact is such a weird thing, because everybody like twists the truth and fact. Like, you don't know what a fact is anymore, and everything is based off prejudgment and super polarization, so no one really knows. So it's like, okay, what is a fact? If someone is telling you information, do not prejudge them. Take the information and relate it to you and how it can either benefit you or how it could not benefit you. Taking all the personal, all the prejudgment, all the polarization out. If you can do that in your life, you can gain valuable information, and you can use that on yourself and build yourself, then hey. And also, the weird thing is that people tend to prejudge off like the thing. It's like, you see someone successful, like, oh, they're a capitalist, they take advantage of society, they do corrupt things. Like, yes, there's some people that do that, but not all of them do that. And it's like, oh, they see someone that's like a liberal. It's like, oh, we're not saying the such person is a conservative, but I think that'd be a good example. It's like, oh, they're liberal. Oh, you're one of them. You know, those people who called by homophobic. You want like, it's not the truth. Not everyone is like that. There's like in between, there's outliers. There's this crazy polarization. Everybody's just against. It's like either this, either that, and it's like, you know, stereotypes exist for a reason. Like, there are racist conservatives, and there are super, you know, what's the word? Neo-Marxist liberals. And like, yeah, that's true. I see. I didn't want to get into politics, but I kind of am. And I'm trying to stay as middle as possible. I'm not trying to get in politics, but politics are very important. I'm starting to realize that. And I'm talking about prejudgment. And politics is like the main thing of prejudgment, because of polarization. Listen, I'm not political. I can't vote, so don't take anything too personally. I'm just saying, making examples. We prejudge a lot of things, and we just cut people off. We put people in boxes, and sometimes those boxes can be true, but it's like we don't know why they're true. We just kind of accept it. If you actually learn psychology, you know why things are true, why some things aren't true. It's just way better. And you just in information people, you could, like, instead of prejudging people, you could just take them for who they are and take the information. And you might even get to know them. You might really like those people. The people you think you disagree with, you might really like them. And people you agree with, you might not like them so much. You might just are with them because you feel like you're in this social group, and people crave like to be in like this social group to where people agree with their own ideas. People like people that are like them, obviously, but you might realize that that's the only thing you had in common. So I feel like if everybody stopped prejudging and labeling and all this crazy polarization, and you learned about yourself and you learned what you really like, you could get rid of people that you don't really like and are causing you harm. You know, you might not really like the person you're in a relationship with. You're just lusting over them, or it could be the opposite. You know, who knows? You might not like your friends, or you might really like your friends. You might appreciate them more. It's like different things like that. Like I've learned, like I became way more grateful for my friends once I realized who I like. And people like I didn't like that much. Say, well, I don't like them that much, but and some I do. So it's like, yeah, it's dope. Learn about yourself. It'll make your life so much better, and that's all. Kind of went really crazy. I don't want to dab in politics at all. That's where I'm gonna stop. Not that I'm scared, it's just that I don't know enough about politics. I don't know enough about what I'm talking about. It's very amateurish, but hey. Yeah, the last video I did like a dating coach type video style, and I didn't really get into deep topic. I was like, talk to women, but this is like a little bit deeper, I think. So yes, that's it. Learn yourself, learn a little bit of psychology, not anything crazy. And yeah, so it's really cool, man. History and how people work, really cool stuff. And you can just learn a little bit about yourself, and that makes your life better and the people around you. And that's really what it's about. Ignore those pillows. My sheets have to be washed, so yeah. But that's it.